Welcome to Module 6. In this section, we'll look at nutrition through a physiology lens, not as rules or diet strategies, but as one of the main ways the body receives and responds to energy signals. Food influences how energy is made available, how appetite is regulated, and how consistent or variable energy feels across the day. This helps put eating patterns into a clearer context, so choices around food feel more flexible and easier to navigate. In this module, we'll take a clear look at what metabolism actually is and how the body regulates it from day to day. We'll talk about how hunger, fullness, and cravings are shaped by hormones and brain signals, and why steady blood sugar supports more stable energy and clearer thinking. We'll explore how carbohydrates, proteins, and fats each support metabolic health, and how micronutrients, the microbiome, and your eating rhythms influence appetite and digestion. We'll also look at the patterns that most often disrupt glucose and energy, and end with practical eating skills that help create stability, without dieting or restriction. By the end, you'll have a grounded understanding of how your daily cues shape metabolic stability. Metabolism is the process your body uses to turn food into usable energy. It includes digestion, absorption, hormone signaling, and the mitochondria that make ATP, the basic energy molecule your cells rely on. Your metabolic rhythm is shaped by lean mass, age, genetics, sleep, stress, and nutrition. It maintains a steady baseline and adjusts gradually. It becomes more efficient with consistent fueling, and it conserves energy when the body senses scarcity. When intake becomes too low or too unpredictable, the body shifts into a conservation mode called adaptive thermogenesis. This isn't a shutdown, it's a normal protective response that reverses when the system is consistently fueled again. Understanding metabolism this way helps us focus on steady patterns that support energy, rather than fearing that something is fundamentally wrong. Metabolism isn't one single process. It's made up of several components that together determine how your body uses energy. The largest part is your basal metabolic rate, or BMR. This is the energy your body uses just to keep you alive. Things like breathing, circulation, and maintaining body temperature. There's also the thermic effect of food, which is the energy required to digest and process what you eat. Another piece is non-exercise activity, often called NEAT. This includes all of your everyday movement, walking, shifting posture, even small movements throughout the day. And then there's exercise, which is the energy used during intentional physical activity. These components are always adjusting based on your routine, your intake, and your environment. At the same time, your body is sending signals that influence appetite, helping coordinate how much energy comes in to match those demands. Our appetite is guided by several hormones that rise and fall across the day. Ghrelin, released from the stomach, rises before meals and creates the sensation of hunger. After you start eating, hormones such as glucagon like peptide 1 and peptide YY rise. These help slow digestion, reduce appetite, and create a sense of satiety after a meal. Leptin plays a different role. It's produced by fat tissue, your body's long-term energy stores, and helps the brain gauge overall fuel availability. Leptin influences your baseline appetite patterns over days and weeks, rather than moment to moment. Stress, poor sleep, and highly processed foods each disrupt these appetite signals, increasing cravings and making it easier to eat beyond your body's nutritional needs. Blood sugar naturally rises after eating. That's a normal part of how your body turns food into energy. What matters more than the height of that rise is the shape of the curve. Meals that include protein, fiber, and healthy fats create a steadier, more gradual response. When glucose patterns are steadier, many people notice clearer thinking and more predictable energy. Larger swings, especially in the context of poor sleep, stress, or irregular eating patterns, can contribute to feeling more tired or more prone to cravings. Sleep, stress, caffeine, and the timing of meals all shape how your body handles glucose, which is one of the reasons why energy can feel different from day to day. Throughout the rest of this module, we'll be talking about carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. If those categories aren't familiar, there's a short nutrition basics guide attached as a reference, with everyday food examples to help ground the discussion. Carbohydrates come in different structures, and that structure influences how quickly they're broken down and absorbed. Simple carbohydrates are made of small sugar molecules. Some occur naturally in foods like fruit and milk. while others are added during processing. These are digested relatively quickly. Complex carbohydrates, such as those found in whole grains, beans, and vegetables, contain longer chains of sugars, along with naturally occurring fiber. This slows digestion and supports more gradual glucose responses. Ultra-processed carbohydrates are different. They're typically refined and combined with added sugars, fats, flavorings, and preservatives. They tend to digest quickly and activate reward pathways more strongly, which can make them easier to consume in larger amounts without noticing. Fiber plays an important role across all types of carbohydrates. It slows digestion, supports the gut microbiome, and helps smooth glucose responses. And importantly, glucose responses are shaped by the entire meal, not just the type of carbohydrate on the plate. Protein plays several important roles in metabolic health. It helps maintain lean muscle, which is one of the strongest contributors to your overall metabolic rate. Protein also slows digestion and increases the release of appetite-regulating hormones such as GLP-1 and PYY. These signals help meals feel more satisfying and support a steadier rhythm of hunger and fullness. Compared to carbohydrates and fats, protein requires more energy to break down, a concept called the thermic effect of food. This doesn't significantly raise metabolism, but it does contribute to a steadier pattern of energy use across the day. As we age, protein becomes even more important for preserving muscle mass and maintaining strength and metabolic stability. And for people with healthy kidneys, higher protein intake is safe and well tolerated. Fats play several essential roles in the body. Unsaturated fats found in foods like nuts, seeds, olive oil, and fish support cell membranes, hormone production, and overall metabolic health. Saturated fats also have a place in a balanced diet. They're found in foods like dairy, butter, coconut oil, and certain meats. They're safe in moderation, though in some people they can raise LDL, a form of cholesterol that when elevated over many years can increase heart disease risk. This is why most people benefit from getting more of their fats from unsaturated sources. Trans fats are different. These are industrial fats created during processing, and they're the type most consistently linked with negative health effects. All fats are energy dense, meaning they provide a lot of fuel in a small amount. That doesn't make them bad. Fats slow digestion, help regulate appetite, and provide important building blocks for hormones and cells. As with most aspects of nutrition, the overall pattern matters far more than strict limits or trying to avoid entire categories of foods. Micronutrients are vitamins and minerals the body needs in small amounts, and they support many of the processes involved in metabolic health. Vitamin D, magnesium, and several B vitamins help the enzymes and pathways involved in cellular energy production. They support normal mitochondrial function, but don't increase energy output above what the body requires. Iron is essential for carrying oxygen in the blood, and low levels can contribute to fatigue, shortness of breath, or reduced exercise tolerance. Iron deficiency is a common and very correctable cause of fatigue when symptoms match the pattern. Iodine and selenium support the thyroid's ability to make and convert hormones. These minerals are needed in small amounts. Too much iodine can disrupt thyroid function, and excess selenium can be toxic. Most people meet their needs through food or a standard multivitamin. For most people, the goal is simply adequacy. Supplements are helpful when a deficiency is confirmed or medically indicated, but they don't create more energy in someone who already has enough of these nutrients. When we look at nutrition research, the strongest evidence supports broader eating patterns rather than specific products or rigid rules. Approaches like the Mediterranean pattern and the DASH approach, which emphasizes vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and lower sodium choices, are consistently associated with better metabolic health, cardiovascular health, and steadier energy. Plant-forward approaches also increase fiber intake, which supports the gut microbiome and helps create smoother glucose responses. Flexibility is a key part of long-term consistency. Routines that are enjoyable and sustainable tend to support metabolism far better than tightly controlled or highly restrictive plans. Extreme diets may produce short-term changes, but they often disrupt appetite signals and are difficult to maintain. Focusing on overall patterns rather than perfection helps create stability in a way that fits real life. Time-restricted eating refers to having a consistent eating window each day. For some people, keeping meals within a predictable daytime window can support steadier glucose responses and more stable appetite cues, especially if it naturally reduces late-night eating. But TRE isn't ideal for everyone. If stress, poor sleep, or irregular routines are already affecting appetite, Narrowing the eating window can sometimes lead to rebound hunger or overeating later in the day. Long fasting periods may also make energy or concentration feel less stable for some individuals. And it's important to be clear about what TRE does and doesn't do. It doesn't reset hormones or boost metabolism on its own. When people notice benefits, they typically come from having more regular routines and eating more of the day's calories earlier, not from extending the fasting window. Lower carbohydrate eating patterns, including ketogenic diets, can be helpful for some people, especially when glucose variability or strong cravings are the main challenges. Reducing carbohydrate intake can make appetite cues feel more predictable by limiting the larger glucose swings that drive rapid shifts in hunger for some individuals. But these approaches aren't required for a stable metabolism, and they're not the only, or even the best, option for most people. Strict low-carb or keto patterns can be difficult to maintain long-term, and drifting in and out of the plan often creates more frustration than benefit. It's also important to be clear about the claims. Low-carb and keto diets don't reset hormones, detox the body, or cure metabolic conditions. Their effects come from changes in appetite regulation, glucose dynamics, and overall energy balance, not from altering the endocrine system itself. For people who enjoy these patterns and find them sustainable, they can be one option, but they're not necessary to support metabolic health. Our eating environment shapes appetite just as much as the nutrients themselves. Ultra-processed foods digest quickly, create sharper glucose responses, and activate the brain's reward pathways more strongly than whole or minimally processed foods. They also tend to have less natural fiber and protein, which means fullness cues fade sooner and appetite can feel less predictable. Stress, poor sleep, and decision fatigue make the body more likely to reach for fast, easily digestible options. This isn't a lack of discipline, it's the body responding to fatigue and the promise of quick energy. A lot of what people think of as willpower is really a reflection of environment, stress load, and food structure. When we understand these influences, it becomes easier to create routines that support predictable appetite and steadier energy, rather than relying on willpower alone. The microbiome is the community of trillions of microorganisms living in the gut, and they interact closely with our metabolism. One of their key roles is breaking down fibers that we can't digest on our own. As they do this, they produce short-chain fatty acids which help support glucose stability, reduce unnecessary inflammation, and influence appetite signals that travel between the gut and the brain. A diverse microbiome tends to be more resilient. Greater diversity is associated with steadier digestion, more predictable energy, and even aspects of mood regulation, because many neurotransmitter precursors are produced or modified in the gut. Gut microbes also follow a daily rhythm. Their activity shifts across the 24-hour cycle, which means meal timing and sleep patterns can influence which groups are most active and how effectively they carry out their work. Most of what strengthens the microbiome comes from consistent habits, especially fiber-rich foods, variety in plant intake, and regular routines. Fermented foods can also support microbial activity, but their effects are modest and work best as part of an overall pattern of fiber-rich, plant-diverse eating. Probiotic supplements can create short-term changes, but they rarely lead to long-term colonization on their own. Supporting the microbiome is really about steady patterns, not special products. Several nutrition patterns support steadier energy because they align with the way the body regulates appetite, glucose, and digestion. Eating at regular intervals helps keep appetite hormones more stable and prevents the large swings in hunger that make energy feel unpredictable. Meals that include protein, fiber, and healthy fats provide a more gradual release of energy. This supports clearer concentration and reduces the likelihood of sharp rises and drops across the day. Eating more earlier in the day works with the body's natural daytime rhythm, when digestion and metabolic activity are most efficient. Choosing foods that digest more slowly can help sustain focus and reduce the midday dip many people experience. And keeping caffeine to earlier hours supports alertness while still protecting sleep quality later on. Putting nutrition principles into daily practice often comes down to a few simple patterns that make eating feel more manageable. One helpful approach is to build simple meal structures. This might mean keeping a few reliable ingredients on hand and using broad patterns, such as pairing a protein with a source of fiber and healthy fat, so meals come together quickly without requiring a lot of decisions. A second strategy is to support your day with small adjustments. On busier days, a snack can help bridge longer gaps between meals, and planning ahead for times when food may be unpredictable, like long work days or travel, can help prevent energy dips. Developing a bit more awareness around your appetite can also make choices feel clearer. Noticing the difference between physical hunger, a craving, or eating out of convenience helps you respond in a way that matches what your body actually needs. Nutrition isn't about getting every meal exactly right. Your metabolism responds best to patterns it can anticipate: steady meal timing, foods that digest at a comfortable pace, and an awareness of what your body is asking for. When those signals are consistent, energy, focus, and appetite tend to feel more predictable. And it's the small, repeatable habits that create that stability over time, not strict rules or perfection. In the next module, we'll shift to another key part of the energy system: movement, muscle, and the way your body uses and conserves energy. Understanding how activity patterns shape metabolic efficiency will help you build routines that support strength, stamina, and steadier energy in daily life.